Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Welcome to 2025, to the first video of the new year, and welcome aboard the Arkhangelsk, which is a Revenge class battleship in its 1944 configuration at battle rating 7.0, and it is within the Russian tech tree. It comes after the Novorossiysk, which is a former Italian battleship, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I had a horrible time, and I don't want to waste more time of my life on this ship to play battles like this. I'm so done. You cannot imagine. So that's not a good start for 2025. And there are so many better ships that will, I hope, take more of my time in the future. And honestly, I am still extremely baffled how ships like these, which in my hands, despite my best efforts, with all the experience that I dare to say I have, are at 7.0. It's not that the ship is terrible and bad, but it just doesn't get things done, and I'm not 100% sure why. And a couple of days ago played the Scharnhorst, the Kronstadt, and the Alaska, and they, as battle cruisers, have just so much more serious firepower. I really wonder how Gaijin rates battle ratings. I absolutely don't get it. Now, if you just wanted to know if this ship is worth it or not, no, it's not. So you can end the video. But we will get a bit into more detail why this ship doesn't have the best of times. Again, it's not awful, but I'm done playing it. I will never touch ships like these again before Gaijin has not seriously taken the bugs out of them, or, whatever makes those ships terrible. I'm not 1000% sure what's going on, but I just can't play them anymore. I bailed out of battles out of sheer frustration, and I have come so far with playing Naval. It's incredible. There are ships out there of the same battle rating, and also at lower battle ratings, that are, for me personally, fun, that are cool, good looking. And this ship kind of reflects its own history in War Thunder. So the TLDR is, the British gave this Revenge class battleship to the Russians, and they had it in one of their north ports, and they mistreated it by not doing anything with them, and basically the bearings of the main battery rusted in place. So when after the war the Russians gave it back to the British, they were like, well, we can scrap it now. I mean, the British kind of did this with all the R class to begin with, but in this case it was not out of cost or them being not modern enough, those ships, but in this case because it was unusable. This is how badly the Russians treated, which raises a little bit of a question regarding quality control and assurance of readiness. But I mean, it's Russia, right? It's like, meh. So anyway, R-Class. There is nothing inherently wrong with those ships, and to get clear, I want to have a quick look over them. The rough overlook. Belt 330 millimeters, which is nice. Barbettes are 254 millimeters, which is on the weaker side. Turret face 330 millimeter, rounded, but overall flat enough to be knocked out regularly. Distributed armor scheme, bulkhead is a bit bent and only 152 millimeters thick, so that's not too crazy. We have several different deck layers, 25 millimeter, 19 millimeters, 31 millimeters, 25 millimeters, and we have behind the main belt a 51 millimeter turtle bag, which is more spaced armor than actual turtleback, because it has constructional armor slope of only 28 degrees or 33 degrees, something like this. That is not really a Scharnhorst class turtleback, if you know what I'm talking about. And so we have really weak deck armor, we have distributed armor scheme. The turtleback doesn't really support the belt in terms of Scharnhorst, the really steep, thick turtleback behind the really thick main belt. So the ship is not as tanky as the Scharnhorst, and you kind of feel this. You can tank some shots if they do not hit the right spots. Let's put it that way. Now, then we have some modernization regarding AA. We have various different quadruple and octuple 40 millimeters. We have lots and lots of single and twin 20 millimeters. We have 4 twin 4-inch heavy AA, but they are not really that great. Although you get a radar, at least you're going to know when you die. Then we have 8 6-inch 45 secondaries. They are registered wrongly, and you can see this maybe at some point in the gameplay, that when you fire a full broadside, 6 secondaries get displayed but only 4 fire, and this is again one of those bugs alongside with those weird flickerings. I'm not quite sure if this is recorded or not. It's definitely not on my side of the system. It happened across 2 systems for a while now, since this patch. And then we come to the main artillery, and this is where I now unload all my disappointment. We have 4 twin 15-inch 42 BL Mark I guns with 960 rounds of ammunition. The reload is 30 seconds. So this puts the DPM right there where the Congo class battle cruisers sit. It's a bit worse than the German Bayern class, and the shells are not that great. They are exactly the same as on the very similar ship in the British tech tree, the Queen Elizabeth class HMS Barham, which is very similar in many aspects. And yeah, about the shells, you see, you get 2 shells for your main battery. The stock round is the 15-inch 4 CRH CPC SAP round. Muzzle velocity is low, 752 meters per second, especially at range. It's not really fast, and it takes a while to get there. At ranges of like 10 kilometers, you're more than halfway done with your reload before the shells impact the target, if they find it, because something's wrong with the dispersion a little bit. Less than 60 kilograms of explosive mass, so that's not too amazing, but not too shabby. Penetrations are right for a SAP round at 10 kilometers, 377 millimeters. I tried it out. It's not a wonder shell, but it does the job for a SAP, you know, as to be expected. Then we come to the 381 millimeter Mark 1 AAPC, and that's the so-called Jutland shell. At the Battle of Jutland, this shell kind of malfunctioned multiple times, something wrong with the fuses, and it's also an APC round. Again, regarding certain comments of the video of the Queen Elizabeth class ship that I mentioned, I don't think that Gaijin implemented the shell wrongly, although visually it's quite on point, but more like something with the fuse sensitivity, the fuse delay, something like this. There are multiple shells like these in War Thunder, and I think the Bayern class has a similar problem. And now we come to the TNT equivalent bursting charge. 30 kilograms is a lot. The Hood's improved AP shell of the same gun essentially has 20 kilograms. That's quite a lot. The Bayern class has 25 kilograms. That was so far the mightiest before the arrival of the British equivalent ship. And now we have 30 kilograms. This is the punchiest AP round in terms of bursting charge so far. The 16-inch guns of the Japanese ships and the 14-inch guns of the American ships are roughly somewhere between 10 to 15 kilograms, so you have much more boom, but not more oomph, because this is the problem. We have 615 millimeter at 1 kilometer. Then at 5 kilometers we have 516 millimeters, and you know, the standard number that I always compare is 441 millimeters at 10 kilometers. Now that's bad. That's bad. Because the Kronstadt, for instance, has 476 millimeters from a 12-inch gun. And also the Novorossiysk, which is the predecessor in the tech tree, has 470 millimeter from a 320 millimeter gun. Yes, those are high penetration, high velocity rounds, and yes, you're a 15-inch smasher gun from basically pre-World War One or World War One, but something's not adding up. It just is a bad combination of low DPM, bad accuracy, and sometimes not enough penetration. And this is where all of a sudden the US 14-inch BBs with their 40-second reload seem more manageable. That sounds crazy, and it should be, because it is. That's not a good sign. Playing battle after battle, where you barely scratch an enemy ship, where you have difficulty landing enough hits to begin with, that some of them hit the critical parts, and then you're not even sure if it penetrates, and even if it penetrates, that it just gets deep enough into the guts to do any sort of meaningful damage. And you just don't see that many cruisers that you can harass. And if you're fighting cruisers and you wanna prey on cruisers, why not use any of the ships that have just more DPM, like the Scharnhorst, the Alaska, the Kronstadt, or ships that have more guns and faster reloads, like the Amagi, that have even more penetration. It's the compression in naval is mind-boggling. This ship wouldn't be really great at 6.7 because of the issues of low DPM and bad accuracy. I have no fun to play this ship. I have no desire to play it further. I will play the Kronstadt with a talisman to research it and then be done with it. And I'm really sorry that I have to start the year like this, but you know, it's the new ship. I'm sorry that I'm so late, but I just couldn't be asked to play it anymore. And that's an average battle. People hiding behind islands, that's just not fun. And that's it from me today. I hope you still give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And we'll see each other on the waves of War Thunder.